Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of the Velvet Lounge Life. This is another eBay episode. Why? Because major change is coming and you need to be ready because you will not have any choices. So this is all about the eBay's managed payment system. It's not new. They've been beta testing it for over 2 years and working out all the kinks that are in the armor. And also, as of right now, there are people who have already been using the system for quite a bit of time, as it's been out there active, and they've been doing all sorts of transactions in the universe. And that's a good thing, because that means these brave souls have taken the brunt of any issues, reported them, worked with eBay to get them rectified, and or suggestions to improve the system. And they've done that just for us. So effective July 15th, you will not have a choice. You will automatically be put on the system unless you decide to register before that date. You could actually register right now at this moment. And they do have thousands of people that are using it. I saw this number. I don't know if it's correct or not. I would need to check it. But I believe they have 32,000 people who are using it, which seems very low. So don't quote me on that. I would have to check that. Also, when you register, if you decide to do so right now, and up until July 15th, you might be put on a waiting list. I don't know why. I called eBay trying to understand this, and I really could not get an answer that made any sense. And actually, I called back twice just to see if the answers would, sort of be in line. And they definitely were not. So for whatever reason, there's a waiting list. Potentially, I'm sure some people might get through automatically, and I don't know what the parameters of that is. But we will get into all of the details of this, as well as the fact that there will still be a PayPal relationship. We'll talk about what countries are already up and running and active. And there's a couple that are knocking on that door and will be out there in just probably the next week or two, if not sooner. And also the fees. We will so discuss the new eBay fees. A benefit of this new system is everything will take place in one place. Right now you have to deal with PayPal and eBay and PayPal. Guess what? In the future, everything that you do, it will go through eBay. So I know that there are some people, definitely, and I get it. I mean, at one point when I was asked and I was asked a couple times if I would volunteer to beta test this new managed payment system for eBay, and I declined. The reason why is, ironically, the time that they were asking me to beta test the system, as they've asked several other people out there in the world as well, that was the same time that we were having a bevy of issues with the regular eBay system. Things were happening such as duplicate listings. Does any of this sound familiar? Your photographs disappearing from your listings, or if not all photographs, some of them disappearing. It was listings just gone. So, I mean, imagine if you had thousands, even hundreds of items, let alone thousands or hundreds of thousands of items listed. You had to do a manual check just to make sure that everything was still there, because that's what type of mess they were having back then. And to ask someone to test your system when your regular system that you've had for who knows how long is so messed up at that moment, there was no way I was going to be one of the people to test a brand new payment system when I was having issues just with something as basic as an eBay listing. So I declined the offer. But there were brave souls, as I stated, that, did test this. Bravo to them. Thank you so much. And because of this, what will happen is, just like we use Neiman Marcus, Amazon, Macy's, Target, the American Spice Company. I'm trying to think of companies that I actually do business with or buy from. They, if you think about it, have their own managed payment systems. You go shop on their sites, and just like eBay, a lot of people don't realize this, they also have third-party sellers. So if you go to where it says retailer, and usually it's on the left-hand side of the screen, and you will be able to sort and see that usually their company, if it's like Target, they're at the top, but located down below, Lowe's is a company we buy from, you will see that there are other sellers listed. So if you think about it, eBay really isn't doing something that's wrong or so different. Okay, there's one thing they're doing wrong that we're going to talk about, but we'll wait a minute on that. So if you buy from other companies like that now, or let's say you're one of those sellers selling with one of those companies, then what's happening with eBay isn't all that provocative. It really isn't. The only thing they're doing is they're saying, you know what? We are now ready to handle all of our business ourselves. And that's what they're doing. So one of the things that will happen, of course, is there will be more options for payments. What that means is if someone wants to make a payment through the eBay system, they now have more ways to do that. They can do that using Apple Pay, PayPal. That's where that PayPal relationship still exists, as well as your PayPal credit. So if you have a credit card through them, other credit cards will be accepted. Google Pay, your debit card, if it has a Visa, MasterCard, or whatever logo on it, and gift cards. So there are those like credit card, gift card looking things, as well as, of course, the eBay gift card or gift certificates is another one. So that is really cool because, people who are like, I'm never using PayPal again. Well, guess what? They don't have to use PayPal to purchase from you on eBay. They can use, and as we know, eBay did have some of these as options, and they still do right now without their new managed payment system. But they didn't have all of these. Like several of these are brand new. So that's a positive for sellers and buyers for sure. The other cool thing about it is all of the payments happen in one place. So if you, and I'm going to talk about the rest of this mostly from a seller's point of view. So you as a seller, let's say someone buys an item from you. What will happen is eBay, which I think this is actually a very good thing. I like it. I know some people may not. eBay will immediately, after that payment comes from the buyer, they will subtract any fees that you owe for that transaction immediately. So you will not receive a monthly bill with, all of your fees from the entire month coupled into one invoice. I don't mind that, but I also don't mind them just taking their piece right off the top. The reason that I don't mind it is I think it gives you more of a realistic view versus waiting every single month to reconcile, to really see like how much of a profit using this system, and how much am I really making? Okay, take into account, yes, it does not include any outside expenses you have, such as fuel, what you paid for the item, storage, the materials to ship. This is strictly talking about fees and shipping. The other thing is when you have shipping cost, that will come out of whatever bank account you connect to your eBay managed payment system account. So yes, you must attach whatever. I don't know what you use now. I know that I use a business checking account that I have connected to my PayPal account. And that way, like when money comes in, I get a chunk, I could just quickly move it over into that account, pretty quick and easy. Even that's going to change with this managed system. But what will happen is, like I said, you get paid for something from a buyer. eBay will take whatever fees in percentage you owe them. And when it's time to print your label, you will print your label. That money will come out of whatever bank account that you connected to this managed payment account. Also, something to note is if you have store fees because you have a subscription, then that will be something that you will schedule as a payment to come out of whatever bank account you connect to this, so that obviously eBay is going to make sure they always get paid. Like, obviously, that's what everyone out there in the world is trying to do, including you, if you admit it. As far as payments that you want to make to others, let's say that you buy something. Let's say you buy some supplies or something and you use your eBay account to do that. You will still be able to go, and this is, you'll still be able to log into eBay, buy whatever you want, and there will be a connection to your bank account where they will subtract whatever it is you owe. I believe that it will also connect to credit cards, so I forgot to mention that. So some of the countries that already are live and active, because right now you can go in and voluntarily sign up for eBay's managed payment system, are the United States, the United Kingdom, and Germany. Being worked on, and if they're not active as of this moment, they will be over the next couple of weeks or so, are Australia and Canada. Now, that kind of worries me. Why? Because I have other countries that I do business with that are not on this list. So my hope is that they will, move those countries along. My assumption, of course, is, it's kind of common sense, is they went with, where they have the highest revenues, and they're probably working their way down a list, I assume. But as of July 15th, those 5 countries definitely will be on the roster. As far as payments go, meaning, right now, people can pay, you can make this outside, or not outside, because there's an option in eBay where you could click on that, and one of the payment options could be that you will accept their credit card or whatever. Obviously, you can accept a PayPal. That's a hassle. I don't do that myself. I only accept PayPal as of this moment. But using the new eBay managed payment system, people will be able to pay using Apple Pay, PayPal. So PayPal still has a relationship with eBay. The PayPal credit card, other credit cards will be accepted, gift cards, and eBay gift certificates. Don't forget that at Christmas, birthdays, and other holidays. Debit cards, as long as they have like the Visa MasterCard logo on them, Google Play, and that's all I know of at this moment. That's pretty much almost everything. There's a couple I could think of that are not on this list, but these are really your big hitters. So that's really good for sellers, and of course it's good for buyers, but hello, it's great for sellers, because that means we can now potentially have new customers that refused to use PayPal previously and are now going to use one of these other payment options to do business with us. So I see that as a positive. Some of the things that will be really awesome as a seller is in one place, I will be able to get reports, create reports, look at my fees in one place, look at issue refunds, look at my refund history, Shipping labels, of course, we talked about that, I think, already. You will be able to, print your shipping labels, look at your history, look at the cost, like all of that stuff will be in one place. The seller's protection plan, eBay will have one. We need to really read the details of that. I might do a separate video on that, but I am telling you, please read the details. You really want to understand what type of protection you actually have, or is there really protection there? Is it just a little tickle? Like, I think you really want to read the details of that. Also, you will be able to schedule payments. So one thing that obviously that eBay is going to do is automatically take their store subscription fees, but you will be able to schedule other payments as well. As far as tax documents, your 1099, you will not have to go to PayPal to look at that. You will be able to get that directly through eBay. Direct deposits from eBay to your bank can be scheduled. That's a new thing. And what that means is daily or weekly, you can have X amount of dollars, whatever it is you choose, moved over into whatever banking account you connected to the eBay managed payment system. Some things I want to warn you about, and this is, the part of the video where I said I was going to talk about, how to help you guys, give you, some information that might keep you out of trouble, I hope. You never want to be in trouble. One of the things you have to be aware of is there will be some people who will keep their eBay balance as low as it can possibly go, even down to zero maybe. I suggest that you keep a cushion of money in there. Why? Just like you should be doing in your business accounts or any account that you have outside of eBay or PayPal, those accounts should not be down to the bare minimum so that when you go to an ATM or the teller, she's giving you $3.42 back because that's all you have in the account. I actually stole that from a comedian, so thank you. I think it was Kevin Hart, but I'm not sure. Oh, or maybe it was Cat Williams. But anyway, what you want to do is keep some cash in your account to pay for things such as your subscription fee, which is not something that is going to be automatically subtracted from a payment someone else gave you, as well as what about when you need to print labels? For example, if you receive $10 for a purchase that someone made from you today, and you're using this system, meaning their brand new system, you might not print out a label today. And what if you add in handling and maybe a little bit for the materials that you use for shipping that item? Then there's no way for eBay to know that what you charge for shipping and handling is exactly what the postage is going to be. Also, if you have a handling time of whether it be 1 day or 3 days, I know some people are like, oh, if it's 1 day, then they could. No. If you don't print out that label immediately, that there's no way that eBay will know what to charge you for shipping. So let's go with a 2-day handling time. So if you have a 2-day handling time, which is what I have, then what will happen is when you print that label, then you will be charged for that label. You want to make sure that you have money in your account to pay for that label, because that will get you in trouble as far as if you don't have overdraft protection, or if you do have overdraft protection, you don't want checks and things or any monies coming in and out of your accounts to be messed up simply because you did not leave a cushion in there to pay for something. And I was at first going to say the unexpected, but if you're doing business, all of this is expected. We expect to pay shipping fees. and we expect to pay a subscription fee if we have a store with eBay. So you just want to make sure that you leave what I'm going to call a generous cushion, because there are some people who try to leave exactly that amount. Leave exactly that amount and add at least 30% to it. What is that amount? I don't know. It depends on what you do for business. Maybe you could look back at your records historically and figure out what you need to do to make sure you have a cushion. But we also know that in the world, just like what we're going through right now, there are unexpected situations. So just don't get caught short. Also, something to know is the fees. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about this. Oh my God, I am so unhappy about the fees. So unhappy. Why? Because my God, corporate America, this is why you get such a horrifically bad name, and why small businesses are desperately needed. Please solicit your small businesses. Go out protected, use common sense, don't be an ass, and don't put other people in danger because you're selfish. But please solicit small businesses. And here's a good example as to why you should do that. So I'm going to start with an example. You have someone that purchased a $10 item from you. The total, with shipping and everything, taxes, comes to $10. eBay will save you 6 to 7 cents on that transaction because they no longer have a relationship that they had with PayPal. Yes, people, 6 to 7 cents is all you will save. Technically, you should be saving like 36, 37 cents because, and I'm just going to use 3% to make it easy. If we have to use PayPal as our payment system unless we signed up for eBay's new managed payment system. So that means that we're paying PayPal, let's just say for giggles and ha-has, 3%. So what eBay did is they lowered like one of their fees and made all of the others slightly higher to a point that they absorbed 97% of that savings that we would have been getting if eBay was the only way that our payments were being processed. So our thought was that we would be saving like 3% or so because PayPal wouldn't, have to have anything to do with managing payments anymore. But that's not true. And I know there are some people who are like, yes, but you save 6, who cares? 6 cents? The thing is, you should be saving more. Why do people think it's always acceptable to accept the mundane, the little teeny bits of crumbs, a slap in the face? I don't get it. I don't accept it. I think that is incredibly wrong. It's so selfish. I can't believe it. And also, if, I was realistic in the beginning. I remember telling my husband, and this is like way back when they were trying to get me to sign up to test their system. I told my husband, I was like, if, he's like, do you think that your fees will go down? I was like, they should, because we won't be using PayPal to process payments. I said, but I wouldn't be surprised if eBay had to get their hands dirty, not wipe their asses, and charged us 0.5% to 1% simply because they have this integrated, updated, whatever system. And he's like, wow, I don't think they should charge you anything, this and that. So we have this conversation. But when I now find out that they are charging us almost exactly what we would have paid if they still had their relationship with PayPal, that is so disappointing, incredibly. In the comments down below, please do me a favor and tell me what is your opinion on that. Seriously, if you watch this video, I really would like to get your opinion on that, because I think it's important that it's not something that's swept under the rug. So that's something to know. It's ridiculous. It's outrageous. But at the end of the day, eBay has us by the cojones. So what can we do? I don't think that there's a lot we can do. And the reason why is because eBay is the best place for resellers at this point, or honestly, anyone that wants to sell quickly, or even someone who wants to set up a business to sell on a very large scale. There are some multi-million-dollar businesses, and they do multi-million-dollar business every single year, and they're on eBay. So for them, saving we'll just say 6 cents per every $10, yeah, of course it's going to add up for them. But for smaller to medium-sized sellers, it really is not a nice thing. It isn't. It's something where you would think for once this company would want to finally say thank you to our sellers. Without you, we could not exist. If the next new thing comes out, and I am going to talk about a new thing that is coming out that is definitely going to rival eBay, so watch my next video, and I am even going to go back to this video after it's published and attach that link, because I believe that finally eBay is going to have a rival where a lot of people will leave the eBay platform and finally move to a different platform. It's a well-known organization, probably one of the top, I'm going to say 15, in the top 10 to 15 in the world. So it's significant. It is not like a small dot of water in a pan of hot oil that's going to pop. It is going to explode, I think. And there's a lot of buzz around it already. So that is something I will discuss in my next video in regards to eBay and reselling and being an entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur, you should know what your options are. I will say that with that brand new option that's going to be presented, the one thing I would say about it that's super cool is people have been using a version of it, and lots of retail goes through them, lots of it, as well as services. So it covers maybe even a more inclusive gamut than eBay does right now. So, eBay needs to be careful. You can't continue to take water from a dry well. There's nothing left. It's been used up, or it just has a muddy, sediment-filled bottom. At the end of the day, this was a great opportunity to show appreciation and only charge us 0.5%, 1% maybe, and let us keep our little 2%. But no, had to get greedy and outrageous. Maybe they're planning to sell themselves in the future to this other competitor that might wipe them off the board. I don't know. But all I know is that I felt betrayed when I learned about what the fees were going to be. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to our channel, and remember that your health is your wealth, and without your health, you can do absolutely nothing. It's over, Johnny. So please, 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 please take care of yourselves. Use cautions when you're out in the world. Don't become complacent and sick, because it's a real thing. It is not a joke. And please be well.